Hi, I'm Adam DeSanctis. Welcome to MBANow. MBA just released a white paper that makes recommendations on reforms to Section 8 of the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, or RESPA. Here to talk about that white paper is one of the leaders of this initiative, MBA's Alisha Sears. Alisha, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
First off, congratulations on getting this white paper out the door. I know it was a lot of work.
Yes, it was a lot of work, but it's been a year of really learning a lot about RESPA and getting wonderful member engagement.
Yeah, so let's dive in. Why did we decide to go through this effort?
Sure, so RESPA turns 50 this year. It was passed or enacted in 1974. And so as part of our Legal Issues and Regulatory Compliance Committee, our members, as they were developing their 2024 priorities, felt that it would be a great opportunity to take a deeper dive into RESPA Section 8 and to identify, areas where it's outdated and to develop or figure out recommendations to help serve the modern mortgage market.
And you mentioned those recommendations. I will make you go through all of them, but what are some of the main ones?
Yeah, so RESPA is actually very important to our industry. It really controls the business relationships between settlement service providers, including lenders for federally related mortgage loans. So it is a very important issue that we deal with. So the paper itself is divided into various sections. We had 3 working groups that all developed their own recommendations. One on marketing service agreements and desk rentals. We had a second group on digital marketing and lead generation, and then another one on affiliated business arrangements. And through convening those 3 groups, we were able to actually develop some general recommendations that didn't fit squarely into one group. And most of that was about seeking clarity from the Bureau with respect to what constitutes a RESPA violation. When does that violation begin and start that statute of limitations timeframe? Acknowledging existing case law, making sure that our members or those that are subject to a RESPA violation can clearly identify those factors or those elements. We've seen that the Bureau in many of their enforcement orders tends to blur those elements. So again, looking for greater clarity, whether it's through some sort of guidance from the Bureau, some sort of change to Regulation X, some sort of change to their examination practices. Most of those recommendations, the general recommendations, focus on those 3 areas.
Alisha, that was a very good summary there, but within those key working groups, what are some of the key takeaways?
Sure. So for lead generation and digital marketing, one of the major recommendations is to repeal the advisory opinion on digital marketing comparison shopping platforms. That's kind of also what spurred this initiative when the Bureau came out with this advisory opinion in 2023. So we go through that analysis. With respect to affiliated business arrangements, a lot of those are technical recommendations, but at a very high level focus on reviewing and maybe modifying existing policy to remove outdated factors, and then looking at the disclosures. So not only in terms of the delivery of the disclosures to the consumer, but ways to simplify them. So information that really the consumer really reads is displayed accurately and clearly to them. And then for desk rentals and marketing services agreements, I won't bore you with all of those details, but again, making sure that the standards that are used to enter into those arrangements are clear. So whether it's using the fair market value standard or the general market standard, kind of defining the parameters around those standards is a big part of that section.
Those seem very important. So big picture, why should our lenders and why do consumers care about this?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, when RESPA was enacted in 1974, it was largely a pen and paper world. A lot of these things that we're discussing in the paper weren't even thought of. And so in this digital world that we live in, it's definitely warrants a closer look. Some of these policy statements that we reference are about 28 or 30 years old. And so I think there is a benefit to reevaluate those. Our members say, look, we are looking to be compliant and there's certain things that warrant greater clarity. and can be easy fixes for the consumer. This will just allow more options for shopping and ways to reduce compliance costs for not only the lenders but the end result, which is the consumer shopping for these different services.
Given the affordability challenges out there for consumers, these could certainly make a difference. And speaking of the digital world, where on our website can members find this white paper?
Yes, so all these materials, which include an executive summary, a recommendations chart, and then the entire paper at about 40 pages with an appendix, are available at MBA.org/RESPA8. So we hope you will all read those materials.
MBA.org/RESPA8.
Yes.
Alisha, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.